So if you're trying to figure out which historic neighborhood is for you, stay tuned while I break it down. All 5 of Jacksonville's most historic neighborhoods developed after the Great Fire in 1901, when people started moving out of downtown into the suburbs at that time. While they are all relatively close to each other, they didn't all develop at the same time and for the same reasons, which is why they have a distinctly different feel. Springfield was one of the first areas people moved to after the Great Fire of 1901. It was close to downtown, there's more space, the homes are bigger, and there's a little separation between the downtown industrial stuff and now where people were living. Most of the homes in that area are somewhere between 1901 and 1920, and that's where the neighborhood really saw a big boom. And that's why you still see some of the largest historic homes in Jacksonville. Springfield is also home to a few hidden gems like Othello Mediterranean Restaurant and Clutho Park, which was originally the home of Jacksonville's first zoo and pool. Due to its location, the artsy feel and vibe, and just the community itself, Springfield offers a great investment opportunity, which has helped this neighborhood gain a recent resurgence. Springfield is a great place to live and a great opportunity. The next community I want to highlight is Riverside. Riverside started to really develop after the fire, just like Springfield, but once the streetcar came to be, then residents could get from downtown to Riverside, which is across the bridge. What you would see at that point is housing really started to kick off here between the 1920s and the 1940s. You didn't see nearly as much development in the Springfield area. It pushed out. Riverside's feel is a little younger, a little more vibrant, a little more action going on. The Five Points area specifically is where many of the shops are. It's highly walkable. There's a park over here. You've got high-end dining with River and Post. You've got dive bars over it, 5 Points Liquor Lounge, and anywhere in between the area, but they're all within, quarter-mile radius. So it's really fun. It's pedestrian friendly. Now there is a really big park right in that area, Riverside Park. And that's not the only one. Memorial Park is just down the road on the river. So there's so much to do in the area, and it is still tree lined and beautiful houses, some older Queen Anne style. And then we get into some of the Mediterranean feel. So it's a very different vibe than Springfield, and actually all the other historic communities I'm going to talk about, but also a great place where it has a really strong community vibe and people in the area take care of each other. A common thread in the historic neighborhoods is there are a limited number of homes. These neighborhoods are already built. There's very little space to actually add a new home. If a new home is being built, typically it's because a historic home has been razed. There is no additional space or land to add more homes. That's part of the appeal for many people, knowing that the neighborhoods are not going to grow and explode like many other places in the Jacksonville area have, that they will continue to have that community feel and vibe as they do today. The next neighborhood I want to talk about is Avondale. Avondale sits just to the southwest of Riverside and kind of just bleeds in together. In some cases, there's not a clear demarcation. Avondale came in just after Riverside started to really develop and was more intentionally planned. It was really marketed as an affluent community, which is why it feels more polished, uniform, and a little quieter than the Riverside area. Much like Riverside, the homes are usually between 1920s and 1940s. Every once in a while, you'll see a new home, but new homes in these areas are few and far between. It means an existing historic home had to be razed. This community was intentionally tree-lined. You will drive through a tree-lined canopy that parallels the river. Avondale also has a little neighborhood strip where most of the restaurants and businesses are located. This strip terminates with Boone Park on one section. Boone Park is a huge community park for this area. There's a children's playground, walkable paths, tennis courts, basketball courts, and just a pretty green space to sit in. Things like this help make it that much more family friendly. Some of the notable restaurants in Avondale would be like Orsay, which is a very upscale, fine dining experience. Avondale also has an art bike tour. There's no limit to how you can get in and around Avondale and see all the really cool homes and all the really cool spots. And this is where people get it wrong. They think the neighborhoods are interchangeable, but they're not. The next neighborhood I want to talk about is the San Marco area. San Marco is on the south side of downtown, across the river, and also east of the Riverside neighborhood. San Marco also benefited from a streetcar and was developed about the same time as the Avondale neighborhood. You'll see a lot of the homes in that area are from the 1920s and the 1940s and marketed as an affluent community. The neighborhood itself was established around the San Marco Square. The square is where the majority of the businesses are located. You have restaurants, you have mom and pop shops, grocery store, and churches, all in this little area. It's highly walkable. It's probably one of the most walkable historic neighborhoods due to the intentional planning, and equally as beautiful. San Marco's restaurant scene is on point. It offers something for everybody. Elevated experiences like taverna or family-friendly places like Electric Dough Pizza. Just like the Riverside, Avondale, Murray Hill neighborhoods, you'll see beautiful, large, historic homes, and you'll also see bungalows as well. Due to its proximity to the South Bank, San Marco area residents are able to take advantage of Friendship Fountain, which has amazing music and light show every evening. There's also a river walk that everybody can enjoy, and a new River Place Park. With all the amenities and a beautiful location, who wouldn't want to live here? The last neighborhood I want to talk about to the west of downtown is Murray Hill. Murray Hill is just north of Avondale and is a charming little community and was developed as a working class neighborhood. The neighborhood was largely established to help house the railroad workers. The homes in Murray Hill vary in age. Some of them are also close to 100 years old. At one point, Murray Hill was where all the business action was located. At one point, there were 4 grocery stores, and it really was a self-contained little area. Avondale and Riverside benefited from the businesses that were in that area. With the advent of the interstate and major highways and thoroughfares, you would see more people move out to the suburbs, and things like malls were created, and the malls took away from the businesses that were actually in the little strips. Now today, we still see businesses there, and mostly they're, and the businesses are mostly like local independent, which is what they value, and they just represent Murray Hill. Just a few of the fun businesses to highlight are Buckner's Beer Garden, which is a German restaurant with a beer garden located directly behind another business, speakeasy-esque. So if you don't know where it is, it's hard to find. Another popular spot is Fishware Brewery, which, a local brewery everybody loves. The neighborhood loves to support independent local businesses. One of the fun things that happens in the Murray Hill area annually is Murray Halloween. It's a huge Halloween celebration. The streets are shut down. There is a parade that all the surrounding neighborhoods and local people participate in. The businesses go all out, and it's just it's an amazing fun time. But this is what community is like in Murray Hill. It attracts a slightly younger crowd than Avondale and is very attractive to young families. If you're trying to figure out which neighborhood fits you best, I've done full videos on each. Start there. For more information on the historic areas, be sure to subscribe and follow along.